The cylinder head was the engine's most tired component and required a lot of attention. Some of the camshaft journals were critically worn out. None of the camshafts were usable, most of the valves were out of spec, the valve seats were a mess, and the entire head was dirty, full of carbon deposits and oxidized. More or less a piece of junk. The multi-step cleaning process was followed by regrinding the valve seats, replacing the valves, and correcting some of the ports and seat areas. I had to find new camshafts. Then I was ready for cylinder head assembly and installation. The engine finally mated with the frame. I had to set the valve timing and valve clearances. It turned out one of the camshaft journal threads was partially stripped, so I had to address it with the engine in the frame. With the head ready, I assembled the valve cover and finally closed the engine. Just measure the camshafts within a specified limit, although the exhaust camshaft is on a verge on going into the limit, so I'll check if I can find a new one. It got a couple hundreds left in him. The intake camshaft was in worse condition and I bought a new one. One of the cams was worn right here. It wasn't good enough. You could see the entire plating came off. On the tip, I decided to replace it and find a used one in a much better condition. There's 100mm run out on a camshaft on the exhaust side. The limit is 1/10. 100 of a millimeter on the intake side, or no run out at all. The last thing that is left in measuring all the parts in the engine is to measure the journal wear right here. We'll do it with a plastic gauge, a tiny, precisely made stripes. We'll put one in every journal and then torque the bolts that hold the journal. Here's our measuring tool. We will know what's the clearance we have right there. Here we have our gauge put into the journals, and now we'll put the camshafts in and torque it down. .76, 0.063, well within specification. Sadly, there is one that is not within a specification. Journal D is perfect. It's around 0.05 millimeter everywhere. But this one, not good at all. It's around 0.125, so it's on the limit. And that's probably because of this, scratched. So we'll see what we can do with this. There's a couple options, because this surface looks much better than this one. Maybe replacing the upper side of a journal will be enough. It's very important to have this gap right. This is how it's supposed to look like. And this is our massacre, our horror. We replaced the camshaft anyway, so I'm more worried about this part here. Like, to replace this part, we have to replace the head. Luckily, it's much better than this part of our journal. So I will have a couple of those, and we will try to fit the best one. All of the valve stem thicknesses, runout and face thicknesses were measured. Most of the face thicknesses were well out of specified limits. Some of the used valves I had been ground by some butchers to the point where there was no margin at all, effectively making the edges razor blade sharp. If used, they would deform or fail very quickly once installed. Ambitious repair right here. Haven't seen this before. Better. No blob anymore. There you go. That's it. Exhaust gaskets. After every test, I'll start with soda blasting, clear all those ports. This is the carbon deposit behind the exhaust valve. We'll try to get rid of it with soda. Exhaust side. The head after soda blasting, it's pretty much clean. You see the exhaust ports, this clean, they're perfect. A little bit of quick porting done. Nothing fancy. The exhaust side, they were very rough. I've corrected them. After fresh glass blasting, I use only a tiny amount, 5 kilos of glass. So when it circulated a couple times, it started to fall apart and became smaller. This finish is probably perfect for painting, but I don't want to paint it. I'll leave it as it is, so I will be bead blasting the entire surface, very low pressure. The finish I'm after is this. This is not painted, this is bead blasted, shiny and new. Sprocket cover. I didn't blast this surface, I just put like a little smear of glass from like 1/2 meter to roughen it up because I want to paint it. But I gone here because it was also corroded. And gone super light here not to destroy the cast marks. And here is our starter cover. This one is perfect, but it's steel, so much less rough than an aluminum finish. I'll paint this. It was very corroded, bead blasted. This is the part that was bead blasted with someone else. You can see the difference in the shininess. This one is much more dull or satin finish, and this one is shiny. If you want to leave it like it is, bare aluminum, then I guarantee this surface will last you much longer. The dirt won't stick to it. You will have a much better time keeping it clean. I wouldn't leave this like it is if it's bare aluminum finish. This finish is very good for painting, but this satin look won't look like this for long. You'll have a lot of stains and dirt everywhere. I don't think you can get any closer than this. So similar. Valve seats. Usually people just lap them. We want to check if our valve is sealing correctly. You just cover a valve with a Sharpie or some kind of dye. We want to tap it and check the contact surface. Tap it like this. It has to have around 1 millimeter, and as you can see there is a problem here because it seals right here, then there is a break in a line, then we have a little bit more sealing, and then we have a break and then a little bit more, and it's not even on the entire circumference. If we twist it, it should be even. It shows us the high spot of a seat, so it should be even more or less. Yeah, as you can see, 1.1 millimeter, but that doesn't mean it's correct. First of all, this line should be as it is right now, but after we tap it, not after we twist it. And second thing is the height of this line. It should be in the middle. The seat is pitted. This is the reason we don't get a contact area. If we regrind this, then we'll have a problem with a place where the valve meets the seat, it will go lower, so the place where the valve contacts the seat will go this way. So we'll have to check the geometry, and in Suzuki the geometry is 15, 45 and 70 or 75. In the very good shops they have a tool that does it free at a time. The exhaust valves are shut. Decided to put 4 new exhaust valves, original Suzuki. I got this nasty ridge here at the 15 degrees. When you cut it down, then you got this. So I made a special cutters with a paper and got a pilot for those. And I tried to get rid of this ridge, like it's like super smooth. And this is the effect, better than factory. You'll see how it's done here. After performing the same set of operations and making sure the contact surface placement and thicknesses were perfect on every exhaust and intake seat, I lightly lapped every valve, additionally confirming the above measurements. Interestingly, the original Suzuki valves, I bought them new, are much worse than aftermarket ones. Allegedly original Japanese valves, but no name, I risk it. The seller in Germany assured me that they're super high quality and they're made in Japan. I measured them on lathe, much better than original Suzuki. Suzuki got a 200s ran out here, and those are perfect. That's weird. I checked it with a straight edge and it was very nice. I just wanted to get rid of rests of a gasket. I just put sandpaper 240 or 120, it depends on the gasket I want to use, on a glass or mirror, and I just lightly move the head on it. As you can see, it's nearly perfect. This is the highest spot, those are low, but you already got scratches here, so everything's look very, very good. Scratches here, scratches here, scratches here, so it's very even. With all the seats cut and the valves lapped, it was time for cylinder head assembly. selection of camshafts. Everyone has something. This one got a scuffed spiral gear. It cost me really much to replace it. So €100 for perfect exhaust camshaft. And then one of cams was out of spec, so I bought a new one, another used one but in perfect condition. There were 4 stripped threads here in the entire head, all were repaired, but I didn't see that there is an original screw. It is original, but it's not the one that is supposed to be here. It was a tiny bit longer. I was thinking, why? And it turned out that if you put the original here, it's coming in much deeper. So that means the thread is stripped, not the entire thread, and it's holding the torque. But since I don't want any problems here and I would like to do it perfectly, I'm considering to rethread it. Problem is the axis is the best it can be on the entire head, but still it's not perfect. I got a special set of tools for this task. Very short drill bit and very short top. I have to be super careful to do it exactly perpendicular. If I mess this, then I'm screwed. I'm really screwed. First, we're extracting this dowel pin very gently, not to scratch it. No force at all. Yeah. A little bit deeper. And this is the crucial part where I can mess the dowel pin socket. I'd prefer to do it by hand. There is no place for any other hand tool. I have to use this, and the start is the most important moment. I go back once in a while. Chips stuck into the oil. That's what we like. I was very afraid I would scratch this surface for a dowel pin, but it's perfect. Special tool. Flush with a surface, and then I go a half a turn or one full turn. Half and one. It should be perfect. The last thing we have to do is just break the pin. It broke. I think it fell off. And our thread is done. Perfect. This insert one is perfect now. Oh my, going like a charm. I'd like to put insert in every thread in this head. That's what Porsche does, and to support the aluminum threads. This is a professional solution. Suzuki. Love this kind of details. I was just choosing the right shims for the entire head because the valve seats were regrinded. Then I installed them and measured them with everything tightened. I reshimmed one of them. I will have to recheck every valve clearance after a couple of kilometers. I'm pretty sure they won't be okay. They'll probably go tighter because the seat will collapse a little bit. We have a 1500 here. I will go with a thicker shim. We take a special tool. It should be able to hold it like that. And now the valve is compressed and we extract the shim. Think as a wedge here. Oh, okay. There you go. Smear of oil here. Hops in. The shim is seated. both sides. And now I lower back the shim cap. So a 10 does not come in, and a 5 is super tight. We'll turn the engine one time and make sure it's seated. Yeah. So, let's leave it like that. Here's the oil separator cover. I started to make this surface flat. Look at this, how uneven it is. And this is pretty popular, is that they become uneven. They are more prone to cracking or not sealing properly. I just wanted to check if it's flat, and it's totally not.